Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video, we are taking an in-depth look at the Megabus. Now, you may have seen this vehicle previously in some of the size comparison videos that I've done, and you may have also seen it on some of my live streams, but we haven't done a proper highlight video where we go in depth on all of the features of this bus until today. So we're going to go through all of the features and all the things that you can do with it, and we're going to be looking at some of the ways you can get a little bit creative with your usage of this bus rather than solely using it for basically driving over everything and through everything, although that's probably one of the most fun things that you can actually do with it, so I wouldn't blame you if that was all you used it for, because that's mostly what I use it for as well. Now, the map we are on right now is Lime's Playground, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through the customization options, of course, but we're also going to be bringing out some other vehicles and using some of the other modifications that you can add to this truck to create some interesting scenarios with it. But before we do any of that, we're going to go into free cam so that I can show you guys some of the details surrounding this bus. Now, hi, you are literally staring straight at me, aren't you, bro? So the driver's seat is a race seat. The dash is pretty much all there. It's a fully functioning dash. You've got your shifter right here. You've got like actual labeled buttons pretty much right there. And you have a fully modeled door with steps. Now, you have all the seats back here, and then if you get a little bit closer to the back of the bus, you have its power plant. Now, the power plant back here, I don't know the actual size of this engine, but what I do know is the supercharger on it probably displaces more air just in the supercharger than most average car engines. Now, it essentially has open headers that go right out the side of the bus, and a rear-mounted radiator, as well as what looks like either an oil cooler or a trans cooler. I can't fully tell by looking at that, but it's either a trans cooler or an oil cooler, and I don't really fully feel like it matters all that much, but also it looks like we have twin fuel tanks back here as well. So now that we've looked at some of the interior features of the bus, let's start it up and take it into the garage and see what all we can do to it in terms of customization. It takes a second to start, but once it gets going, you never have to think about it again. Oh, that sign is freaking out. Now, as we just casually jump it off of the edge of the garage, you can see that even the standard suspension height, I say standard in a joking manner, but the standard suspension height still takes jumps and landings very, very well. Now, I feel like it might actually be better to demo these features outside the garage, but it only shakes when you're actually customizing it. When you back out into this view, it doesn't shake for some reason. Now, engine-wise, we have the stock, air quotes there, 1,000 horsepower engine. And then this one, it just says big boy stuffs, which I would assume that means it's over 2,000 horsepower, but I'm just ballparking there. Now, there's an interesting variety of transmission options. We have a 10-speed transmission here, the big boy transmission. We have a default transmission. We also have a fast transmission. This is the one that I recommend using if you're going to be launching it off of jumps or anything like that. And then we also have the power transmission, which is going to give you the best power range. And I would recommend that for if you're hauling things with it. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that momentarily. Now, actually, let's put that transmission in just to see what it's like. So, the big boy no damage suspension is going to be the tallest one. Ignore the fact that it's freaking out. We have the CNC overtime shocks, no damage. Then we have the normal CNC overtime shocks. And then we have this one, the overtime shocks, no damage toe. And you'll see why that's important in just a moment as well. Now, we have two different types of tires here. We have monster tires that go all the way up to 228 inch. Then we also have T1 tires, which are agricultural mud tires that go all the way up to 236 inch. Now, we'll do those first, but we are absolutely going to mess with the monster tires in just a moment. Definitely go with the long toe strap, and here oh my god, it's freaking out so much. So here in the garage, you have the gooseneck hitch, which again, you'll see how that works momentarily. You also have the mega rack and the mega hitch itself, and it thinks for whatever reason we need to be a different rank to unlock that, so I'm not going to worry about it. You have yellow wheels, and black and red wheels, and then of course you have a full range of colors. The bus is spinning, don't worry about that. And then as far as interior customization goes, there's not really much to speak of there. But let's fire it up now, and I'll show you guys what happens when you put the crane on it and when you put a trailer behind it. So let's bring you over here. And let me actually get this thing into a, oh boy, into a location where it's actually willing to accept trailers. Okay, there we go. Now, 6-unit flatbed gooseneck. Boy, I mean, it's a little slanted, but here, I tell you what. I'll go down a little bit on the tire size just to make it a little bit more manageable. Hey, where are you going? Thank you. All right, appreciate it. Now, the fact that this thing even works with these trailers is amazing in itself, but not quite as amazing as what happens when you start getting a little bit crazy with it. Now, let's go ahead and throw the crane on the rack, and then we're going to put the ramps down, then we're going to stop the engine. So now I'm going to start spawning in other vehicles and loading them up. This is how you can use this thing as a actual hauling rig. So let's spawn a couple of vehicles in. It doesn't really matter which vehicles we spawn. I'm just, spawning different ones in just to see what we can do with them. Now, you're going to go right there, and let's do some default vehicles as well. And I think in terms of default vehicles, I'm definitely going to we'll use some default 1500s for that. The default 1500s are very easy to pick up and move around. So why are you not willing to, okay. Yeah, it's not willing to go anywhere else in terms of actually spawning something in. And sometimes that happens. It's just a weird side effect of the way this default system works. So let's spawn in, now that we're here, there we go. All right, another 1500, and then one more 1500, just for good measure. Okay, so now that that's all taken care of, let's fire the... Well, before we fire it up, let's get a couple of these vehicles on the trailers. And the first one that we do with that is going to be the 12-valve CJ5. So let's fire you up. Thing sounds so good. Such a cool little vehicle, too. All right, let's get you up onto the... Whoa, let's get you up onto the trailer. I said let's get you up onto the trailer. Thank you. And right there. Good enough. And then now, the G150. Let's get you up on the trailer. Things sound so freaking good. All right, up you go. We should have space for the L400, I think. All right, you're close enough there. And let's grab the 2017 L400 now. And just for good measure, I'm bumping up the wheel and tire package. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. I dig that setup. This black and green has always been, kind of in my opinion, I know it's, the default color scheme for this thing, but I think it looks so good. There's not really much point in changing it. I mean, there is, depending on what you like, and I've painted this thing in different colors loads of times, but if you're undecided on color, go with the freaking default one, and I promise you won't regret it. All right, so we've got these guys on there, and then now let me make sure that they pack. So, yes, they all pack, which is great news. Now, let's fire this guy back up. Oh. Oh, that's lovely. The sound is glitched out on this thing. Okay, that's a new one. SnowRunner is a perfect game with no issues whatsoever. Okay, so let's put the ramps back up. If you'll... come on. There we go. Sometimes those ramps like to be a little weird. All right, now we're going to pick ourselves up a little 1500. Yep, you're coming with me. Wait a minute. Did it have a... Oh, it did. I always forget that these little 1500s have a top lift option, but it's so incredibly helpful for doing stuff like this. So let's get you up onto the roof rack. And I think we should be able to fit 2 of these up here. I would imagine, anyway, that we could. You are not going to spin around, are you? Yeah, you're not going to spin around at all. Okay, let me keep spinning this thing. It's a little bit, wonky in the way that it works because eventually it will get to where you want it to be, but it's very slow the way these cranes spin. I mean, and I would still probably rather have it be slow because if it's too fast, then you can never get the vehicle into the position that you want it, but... Come on, easy. Oh, dude, actually, that's gonna work so well. Ooh, come on, easy. Okay, on second thought, we may only be fitting one of these up here. Where are you going? Come on. All right. Yep. Wow, that was perfect. We might have space for 2. Should we try for 2? I mean, I feel like maybe we should. I don't know. I feel like maybe we should try for 2. It does pack, though. That's so awesome, the fact that it packs like that. Okay, still, apparently, this is turned on. Are all of the vehicles, glitched out in terms of sound, or is it just the Megabus? I don't know. Okay, yeah, no, this... So... Yeah, so that works. Interesting. Yeah, the Megabus has gone silent. I don't blame that at all on the Megabus itself. I just feel like the game does very strange things sometimes. And as a matter of fact, I have an idea for a fix. So I'm going to go back to the main menu and then come right back in. Oh my god, I don't know what is going on with my game. Oh, now the bus has sound again! Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this guy back, and then, well, forward just a little bit. Leave him there, and then move the CJ back and just create a little bit of space between these two vehicles because I feel like, well, that went well. I love how I'm like, yeah, I'm going to create some space. Backs into the other truck. Okay, yeah, lovely. I have no idea why the Megabus's sound glitched out like that. All right, so now that everything's nice and packed up, well, hold on. Unpack. Unpack. I'm going up in tire size, just a hair. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, why not? All right, pack trucks and trailers. Now y'all know what we must do. Y'all know what we absolutely must do. First of all, we're gonna have to just take a slight detour through this mud pit here, which, even though we have cargo fully packed up, it does not give a crap. It does not care. Not even one bit. Quite the field trip, for sure. Now, I will say, if you guys have seen some of my other videos with this bus, you have probably seen some of the size comparisons between it and the Monstrosity. Now, if you haven't seen the main video that I did where I went from a stock 1500 all the way up to the Megabus, which is the largest vehicle in the game, definitely go and check that out so you guys can see the actual size comparison between this and the Monstrosity, because it is a wild difference. When you have this thing set up on its largest options, like for suspension and tires, it is wild how much bigger than the Monstrosity that this truck actually is. The G150 is freaking out. Okay, I wanted to repack the G150 because it was not looking too happy back there. Oh no, I didn't turn wide enough. I love how I didn't turn wide enough at all, and now I have to like fix it. Now I have to back up like all the way over here and fix it. Whoop, easy. And we're fine. I love how the roof rack is actually genuinely functional. We're bottoming out the back of the trailer, but it doesn't really care because I've got, like, so much power in this thing that, like, I mean, who cares how, like, oh, yeah, who freaking cares where I drag the back of the trailer, genuinely? Yeah, this thing is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the dang trailer behind it. There's really nothing else that just gives you the vibes that this thing does from the standpoint of, like, you ask it, like, oh, what are you, like, you know, where are you going? And it's like, well, I'm going wherever the heck I please to point the dang thing. Like, there's absolutely no question that you're unlimited here. You're essentially unlimited in where you could go. You genuinely are. I want that saved as a photo. You know why? Because that's essentially the best description of this thing's character and abilities that you could ever possibly... Oh no. I ruined it. I ruined it! Can I fix it? Yes, I can. Through careful usage of the four-wheel steering, I can actually completely fix the issue that I got myself into back there. Oh boy. Now, y'all know where this is headed, so it's not like I need to explain. However, this is gonna be one heck of a run. All right, we're gonna have to ease it over the edge. Guarantee you the trailer is gonna get stuck, but that's okay. All right, full blast, come on. Ninth gear. Oh, what? Oh, the trailer got hung up. Although, you know what the best part of that is? The trailer's still attached and the vehicles are still packed. So essentially, we're still fine. All right, so everyone that's with us on this field trip, you're about to get a taste of mudding. Dude, the vehicles are still on the trailer. What the heck is this even about? Bro, let's go. Come on. I love how the G150 is like, just this whole suspension is entirely like messed up, but it's still packed. It's still packed. It's still back there, and we're still making our way through the mud. We are like, we haven't stopped yet, and there's really, I don't think that there's anything that really is gonna stop this thing. I mean, you could try to stop it, but good luck to you. Genuinely, like, good freaking luck to you on that one. And before we finish this, we're gonna do one more run through that mud pit, but on the ultimate, so actually, just to see, let's see what happens if we do it this way on the tallest suspension and on monster tires. Now, I feel like the monster tires aren't going to be as good in the mud because obviously they're just insanely wide, but actually, if we're using the monster tires, we ought to hit that hill. Oh, dude, we've got to hit the hill. Now, the crane is not going to help us at all, but, I mean, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. By the way, RIP to everything on that trailer. Get monster trucked. All right, full sendage. Come on. Oh, high range actually works, but I'll tell you, it doesn't want me to turn, like, at all. And there goes the 1500. And is it gonna settle, or is it gonna roll over? Nope, it's actually gonna settle, and it almost snapped a tree in half. And I made the 1500 go so high that I may or may not have deactivated its physics. Well, you know, this thing is literally, it's built for the memes. It's not built for, like, serious gameplay at all. But if you really wanted to use it to haul cargo, you technically could, and that's what makes this thing so incredible. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on it in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to you guys later.